Well, I remember the first time I attended a meeting when the idea of the Community Foundation was being presented, and I thought what a wonderful, positive thing that would be to be involved in. And so when they began the process, I was anxious to be a part of the board and to help financially with the establishing of the foundation. The Fulton County Community Foundation started in 1993, and I never dreamed at that time how it could grow through the years. It has given so much to the community, and I've been so happy to be a part of it, to see how positive my gifts and everyone else's gifts have been.
For the Akron Youth League, we have kids mostly from Fulton County, I would say, some from Kosciuszko. Like this Tippecanoe Valley School Corporation area is where most of our kids are from. We had batting cages built. It made it safer for kids to go out and warm up on their batting. It also made it easier for pitchers to warm up before games. You didn't have to worry about anybody getting hit with a wild pitch. In the dugouts, they were originally underground and you ran up out of them. It got to the point where it was a safety hazard. We had a lot of kids falling into them or out of them, and when it rained, the drainage didn't work, so it would fill up, and we would have to use sump pumps to get the dugouts unflooded. So we filled that in, and they're above ground now. They are enclosed to where they weren't before. All of the fencing on the baseball field is completely new. It was the original 1970 fencing, so it's all brand new. In the concession stand, we put in all new stainless steel cabinets. It makes it easier to clean. It's a lot more organized. We have brand new bleachers on all of the fields, so there's 4 of them. They were the old bleachers from the 70s, and they were not very safe at all. Wood, we were replacing the wood on those about every couple years. The girls' field has new crown molding on the top of the fence, and the field itself wasn't taken care of properly, I guess. And so we came in and put in new mule mix and then field mix on top of that, and it drains, and it's very nice to play on.
Back in 2011, me and about a half a dozen guys, we play every weekend, a couple different courses, and we found out this was here with a walking trail in it. So we started bringing a portable basket back here just to see what we could do back here. So we came up with the idea and proposed it to the town, and they sent us to the park board and tried to raise enough money to get this started.
When I first got involved with the park board, I was told this whole area used to be the town dump, well before my time. And I was really interested in how far the Akron Revitalization Committee did a good job cleaning the dump up and planting these trees and grass and making this a desirable place to kind of hang out. And
the Grants Committee has been fortunate to receive a really broad spectrum of grant applications. And to me, it's very exciting to always learn something new about an organization that maybe I didn't know of before or hadn't heard of before, and to learn about the good work they're doing in Fulton County.
About a year ago, the Sentinel featured several stories about a problem with feral cats in Fulton County. What a feral cat is a cat that's roaming around in a neighborhood or in the community that may not be socialized around humans. So it may have started as a stray, someone might have dumped it. For some reason or another, it's not being cared for indoors. So trap, neuter, return, or TNR, is when you take the cats from the community, get them spayed and neutered, they get a rabies vaccine and a little ear tip. They cut off just a very quarter of the ear. That's for identification purposes, so if animal control comes across that cat, they know that it's been spayed or neutered and vaccinated. The spay-neuter transport program started in August and finished their last transport in October. And through those transports, they did them about once or twice a month, and we had almost 200 cats spayed and neutered in that time frame. We're hoping with this spay-neuter transport program that these feral cats that are getting fixed are not going to reproduce this winter and spring, and hopefully our intake numbers, the numbers that we see in the spring and summer, will be significantly decreased.
Some of these groups have familiar names and missions, and others are lesser known, but they're all doing important and impactful work to benefit the thousands of citizens of Fulton County. We've let financial support in the form of grants to numerous baseball and softball park developments and refurbishments, fairs and festivals, service organizations, meal providers, libraries, food assistance programs, organizations for the disabled, educational programs, even disc golf, and all of this just in the last 12 months. Someone once said, "Good things come to those who wait." But at the end of 2015, the Grants Committee was wondering, why should Fulton County have to wait for good things? This led to a major change in 2016, which was the elimination of grant application deadlines. In years past, the Community Foundation would accumulate grant applications over the course of a year, and then the Grants Committee would review and score the application, then announce the grant winners mostly towards the end of the year. For many organizations, this meant that their projects would have to wait until the following year to proceed. The elimination of grant application deadlines means that an organization is free to submit an application when a grant is needed. They can submit their application, receive a timely response from the Grants Committee, and if awarded, they can begin working on their project right away. The Grants Committee has been very pleased with the streamlining and speed of this process and the ability to help bring a broad range of good things to Fulton County.
One of the projects that comes to my mind is the preschool scholarship program that I had you on the radio to discuss that 3 or 4 years ago. My wife was listening to it, and she was a retired teacher, and so we talked about the number of children, preschoolers that weren't involved in preschool and should be. And when I went home that morning after the radio broadcast, she met me at the door and she says, "Dick, we're going to contribute to that."
Matthews Market is a community food pantry that was started approximately 4.5 years ago, that to meet the needs of the low-income people who could possibly need assistance with groceries and putting food on the table for their families. We are like a little grocery store. We have a variety of things. Matthews Market is set up on a points system. So when clients arrive, they're registered into a computer system, and then based on the number of people they have in their family, they are awarded points to spend, per se, in the market. We do have people that are receptive to learning. We have a lot of older ladies who are very good cooks. The majority of people, I would say, that come to the market have no idea how to prepare foods. They're looking for quick, easy things like they were raised on with their families. So a lot of the older ladies that are volunteers will say, you know, you could take this roast and if we put potatoes and carrots with it, you could have pot roast, and the next day you'd have beef left over that you could do sandwiches. When we started the pantry 4.5 years ago, our goal was to, if we could help 200 families a month, we would be happy. Well, we quickly exceeded that, and our highest numbers right now, we reached as high as 769 families in 1 month. On an average, we never fall below 500 now, but it's always somewhere between that 500 and 700 mark. We have 11 other pantries that we have been servicing, but they have been coming to us to pick up their foods. A lot of times it's a little elderly lady with just their car. that don't have any help to lift or load. They're very limited on their space from a food safety standpoint. It's not a refrigerated vehicle, so we really cannot give them the frozen meat and the fresh vegetables and those things to transport back to their pantry. So the first phase of the program was we needed a refrigerated vehicle in order to be able to continue to supply those people legally the way we should do it. And we could also set up a delivery program where we would deliver to them once a month. We have volunteers who are so dedicated, and they work week after week after week, and it takes a variety of people. We have volunteers who work with the clients themselves when they shop and keep track of their points and talk with them. We have volunteers who work a prayer tent and address their spiritual needs if they have any of those. We have volunteers who do not want anything to do with working with the clients, but they'll come in on off hours and repackage foods for us. We have a local church who is sending their youth group to us one night a month. They stock shelves for us. It takes a variety of different volunteers.
On behalf of the Fulton County Community Foundation Board and staff, I want to issue a sincere thank you to the community of Fulton County for helping partner with us as we strive to improve the quality of life for us and the citizens that live here, and also to fulfill the charitable wishes of our donors. It really couldn't be accomplished without everybody working well together, and it's such a joy to be a part of it. Thank you very much.